Good evening, welcome to the Dugout. We are just a sleep away from what promises to be an exciting day. After the high of the England series, we've had a bit of a lull where we've all been craving for some cricket related news, and that's going to come our way tomorrow as the squad for the Asia Cup is going to be announced. If you've seen the last few days, we've been discussing the likelihood of who can come out and not. And if you've been a regular watcher here, you would have known that it's quite an exercise. Despite having done a few dry runs in our dugout, those dry runs happened by chance when you were discussing a Shubman Gill or the wicket keeper and so many other things. But what we are realizing now as well, I even have my diary with all the stats and everything.
Got some notes in here. Yeah.
Even then, it was a tough task to arrive at our 15s. So what we're going to do, as we always do, we will have a 15. Harshit will make his own 15, which we'll try and put up on the screens. And I'll try and make my own 15. But it's not so much of what I think we want, but I think we'll try and second guess the selectors and come up with the 15 that we think will be picked come afternoon time tomorrow.
Afternoon, you seem to be very precise about that bit about
the
information trickling in tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah,
because what we've seen in the past is any time after 7:30, it's usually around 9:30 there'll be an email or a WhatsApp message, and then we get to talk about squad announcement, etc. But tomorrow noon, is that the expectation?
No, so the meeting is going to start at 12 noon, afternoon time in Mumbai, and then it should be about 1:30 or so, 1:30 at best, 2 o'clock, by which time you should get an idea of what the team is going to be like, the 15-member squad that is going to be picked. Just to let you know that we're going to be live on Sports Today, of course, building up to that particular meeting as and when we get to know. But the other interesting bit is, and I'm not 100% sure, but what I'm picking up, that there is no press conference as such. So we've had press conferences so far in the regime of Ajit Agarkar since he's taken over as chairman of selectors. More often than not, you've had press conferences, whether it was for the Asia Cup, the World Cups, and so on and so forth. You've been told that this is the squad, why has this been picked, the captain and the chairman of selector has been coming. But what I'm picking up now is that there will be no press conference.
Why am I not surprised?
Why are you not? I'm surprised there should have been a press conference.
I'm not surprised one bit about this.
Why do you say that?
Looking at the backdrop of this Asia Cup, there is so much that needs to be told at the moment. I wasn't expecting. Also, if these guys had come up, we would have been told half truths or cryptic statements, not the whole truth would have been out, and maybe they're not the right people as well. Maybe the chief selector isn't, the secretary perhaps would have been a better person to come out and ask. The first question wouldn't have been about the 15. The first question, I'm pretty sure, would have been, what has been the dialogue? How's this going ahead? And I doubt if this is the kind of environment that a press conference will take place in.
But I don't understand. If you have decided to go ahead with the Asia Cup, you will get people who will support you. You will get people who will criticize this move. And that is bound to happen. But you have taken a step. We've debated it for plenty of our shows, whether it's the right thing to do or not to have a Asia Cup. But you will have to answer that at some point or the other. I can't understand what is the point of avoiding answering that. How does that, anyway, solve the issue at hand? It's like, it's the ostrich in the sand sort of a situation where when there is, or what the porcupine does, so when
there's danger,
they hide themselves, like they hide their face, thinking that now if I can't see the danger, maybe the danger can't see me. That's not there, but the danger can come and attack you. Or if the ostrich, the head in the sand, thinking there's danger, let me put my head in the sand. I don't want to see the danger, but the danger still exists. You have to deal with it. So that's a bit of an ostrich in the sand
there
sort
as
of
well,
an approach.
because while those might be the truths of life or the truths of how things are at the moment, I think this is not just in sport but otherwise as well, this is the rhetoric as well that you don't address. Simple as that. You don't face the questions. Simple.
I don't know.
Don't show up.
I'm not a big fan of that. I think these things need to be addressed. You really need to catch the bull by its horn and answer why you've decided to do it. I think even if there are people who are critical of the move, once they hear your side of the story, maybe they get a different perspective. I don't think that having a press conference in any way is going to reduce the number of people who want to have cricket. They will not reduce. But the number of people who don't want this tournament to happen, there could be that a press conference, having a press conference will not increase that number, but there is a slight chance that some might see some merit in what you have to put forward and start to look the other way. So I think there is only something to be gained here and not to, nothing much to lose in that sense. Having said that, the fact that the team is being picked tomorrow is now pretty much certain. That it's telling us that the Asia Cup is on track, that it is going to happen, that any debate whether, because you had not heard of an official statement from the BCCI, you not heard any official statement from the government. But now that the selection meeting is tomorrow, as we have confirmed, and that it is starting at 12 in the afternoon, and that you'll get to know the team tomorrow, that pretty much tells you that the BCCI is on track. They have made up their mind that India is playing the Asia Cup. And of course, they have to be on track only after taking government permission. So both are on the same page. So that at least has been established. Why I'm saying established now? Because till now there was some sort of murmur that we've not heard an official statement. Maybe things might change. So that at least is not happening.
So while the meeting is likely to take place sometime in the noon, I'm guessing it will take place at the BCCI headquarters at the Wankhede Stadium, as has been the case before any big tournament. Two questions. One, I hope there won't be a drafting issue as was the case last time and we were all kept waiting for a long time. That's one thing I hope for.
Could still happen. Could still happen.
Two, while the meeting could take place in the noon, as is the precedent with the BCCI, the statement could still not be published until late in the evening.
That we don't know. By the way, there is a press conference tomorrow nonetheless by the BCCI, but that's on the Women's World Cup team. So the selection for the Women's 50-over World Cup is also happening tomorrow at the BCCI. There is supposed to be a press conference to talk about that. But that is subject to the weather in Mumbai, because Mumbai has been put on red alert because of the rain for today and tomorrow. And so if there is a lot of rain, traveling then commuting in Mumbai becomes impossible. So in that case, that press conference for the Women's World Cup might not happen. So that's the latest.
But there's no caveat to the men's cricket team?
No, men's, as far as I know, there is no plan to have a press conference as of now.
No, even for the meeting to take place or not, no caveat there with regards to the weather?
No, because there the people will be next to the place only. You're staying there, you can just arrive there. Or for a meeting, you can even join. Guys are telling us. So, I don't know, can you just tell us in the live comment section if you're having trouble watching us?
Yeah, we've been trying to fix that, but if it's any better, if you could also give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down indicating where we are right now.
We are looking for lazy people to prove.
It says buffering. Shubham Garg is saying it's buffering. Sachin says it's stuck. Chili Paneer says light is gone.
It's working. Okay.
Dr. Dave Walker says
it's fine
working.
now. Everyone's saying it's fine now.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now a lot of people are saying it's fine. Okay, great. Thank you. Just let us know in case you have any troubles with the stream. We were told that there was an issue with the stream, but now all of you are saying it's fine. So as we said, before we dive into what we think would be the likely 11, likely 15, I beg your pardon, according to us, we'll also quickly take a look at what some of a few former players have, picked. And we'll start with Harbhajan Singh. Okay, a lot of you are saying it is still stuttering. Can I get no? But some of you are saying it's fine. Some of you are saying it's stuttering. No, then maybe the ones who are feeling it like that, are you guys having a problem in your this thing?
I'm just wondering because it was just about half an hour, 40 minutes back as well, where 3 of the major cellular providers were down here in India.
No, everyone's saying it's fine. So some of you may be facing an issue, then maybe it's may have been an issue at your end, or where you are joining us from. So as some people who are watching us are saying that you can just refresh the feed, guys. Some wise people on our live feed are telling you that's the way to go about it. Just refresh the feed and it should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Without further ado, for the third time, hoping that this time we'll be lucky, we're taking a look at Harbhajan Singh's 15, but as Harshit points out, he's picked a 16, not a 15. I don't know whether Asian Cricket Council rules allow you to do that. ICC rules certainly don't.
Yeah.
You can have travelling reserves, that's another thing, which you can even have here. But technically the squad can only be 15. So, okay, Harbhajan's picked his 16, fine. But there are a few interesting picks there.
Interesting picks and interesting exclusions as well. Let's talk about the interesting picks. I was surprised to see a Riyan Parag feature over there, as was the case, if you ask me, with the name of KL Rahul. There is Rishabh Pant also, who makes it to his 16. Again, these are three names I am not used to hearing now in the T20I scheme of things. Riyan, I know once he suffered that injury, but he's been out, and you've moved past him if you ask me. Otherwise, he's gone ahead and picked up 3 out-and-out pacers as well, which again goes against the template with which India has been playing T20 cricket of late. Your opener in Sanju Samson, also your designated wicketkeeper, is out of the 16. So is Varun Chakravarti, who was your premier wicket taker in the England series and then in the Champions Trophy as well. So a lot over there to talk about as far as Harbhajan 16 are concerned.
I mean, I know KL Rahul had a good IPL. You may be looking at a wicketkeeper now batting lower down the order, maybe not in the top 3 because all players are available. So I understand why he's looked at KL Rahul. I also looked at it because there was an option, but I struggled to put him in the 15. So that is a surprise for me. Rishabh Pant is a bigger surprise because he was part of that World Cup, the last World Cup that you won. I didn't have great returns, barring one game, but again, overall not great returns, and then had a massive dip in form ever since in white ball cricket per se, and not just in fact
IPL,
he was in the Champions Trophy, he was sitting out, he was not even part of your 11, which was a rarity, which is a format where he's still slightly done better, and T20's numbers haven't been great even in the IPL. So Rishabh Pant's also a no-go for me, and Sanju Samson going out surprising. So
how do you look at Riyan's inclusion in this?
Riyan, I know, could be in the scheme of things. I know that coach Gambhir is kind of fond of him, but I think he's fallen back a little bit in the pecking order because of the amount of talent that you have at the moment. That's what at least I feel. So those names are surprising. I don't think Riyan Parag makes it to my team as well. Okay, so that is Harbhajan 16. Quite surprising. Then let's take a look at Mohammad Kaif's picked his 15, and his team, I think this is a more conventional team. I think a more realistic sort of a team. Yeah.
However, interesting because there is no Shreyas Iyer. Well, there was a Shreyas Iyer in Harbhajan's. There is no Shreyas Iyer over here. Again, it's a name that we are all talking about. There is also the notable name of Varun Chakravarti, who went missing in Harbhajan's team. Otherwise, it's a very conventional, I think that's the right word as well for this team that Mohammad Kaif has gone with. The one noteworthy thing for me over there is no Jaiswal in the 15, and a Shubman Gill has in fact made it to both the teams. He made it to Harbhajan's team and he's made it to Mohammad Kaif's team as well, which is the one bit perhaps we'll also be deliberating upon quite a bit, because there are very credible reports suggesting that you're perhaps not looking at a Shubman Gill in the shortest format of the game.
That's interesting. But both these former players have gone with Shubman Gill, and that's why I say that this selection is going to be one of the most fascinating selections coming up. I'll list the reasons down, but yeah, I agree with you. Jaiswal not making is a bit of a surprise to me. Though if it does happen in the end, it won't be a shocker, because whoever gets left out between a Jaiswal, a Shubman, or a Tilak, or a Sanju, I'm just talking about these top openers and number 3 batters, anyone that is left out is going to be surprising for sure. But none of it is going to be a shocker, because as I said, the competition is very, very stiff. The other point that he is also making, and I think is quite valid, with no Rinku, I think he did get chances. I know he's an X-factor player. We've been big backers of Rinku Singh throughout on Sports Today, because of the talent that he brings and the kind of skill that he has to really change a game, which not too many people have batting at that order that he does. But I think he's had a bit of a dip in form in international T20Is, then in the IPL as well. So based on current form, I think there is a possibility and for me, even Shivam Dube, I'm putting him in the same bracket as that. I think that they might miss out. I know that they've been consistent part of this team. Dube was part of that 2024 World Cup winning team, played a couple of crucial knocks as well. Rinku was a travelling reserve. After that, he's been continuously playing. But I have a feeling that they'll miss out. I could be wrong. We'll make the team, or at least try and second guess what the team is going to be. Why I think that this is a fascinating selection is because for the very first time, a full strength team is available. You got to remember that after 2024 World Cup, while Jadeja, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli retired, there were others, but they also made themselves unavailable, or the selectors tried to only make them play ODI cricket because you were building up for the Champions Trophy. So a Jaiswal, a Gill, to that extent, Shreyas Iyer and all of those players weren't looked at because they were going to be part of your ODI setup. Gill, of course, and Shreyas as well, as you saw in the Champions Trophy, all participated, in that. Now that 50-over tournament is out of your sight. Next is the T20 World Cup in 2016, and now this Asia Cup is like a dress rehearsal for that World Cup, and an important tournament because India and Pakistan will be playing as things stand right now. So you can't take any games lightly there. So now full strength squad available. It's going to be a tough task for the selectors. In fact, I'm already feeling for the selectors, because no matter what team they make, you will also find 2-3 players who you'll say will be unfortunate to miss out. I will also take out 2-3 players that I'll say are unfortunate to miss out. That's exactly how this selection process is going to be. So that then puts the two of us with the unenviable task of picking the 15. And as I said, these are not necessarily 15 that, and we're going to pick both separate. Harshit is going to pick his and I'll pick my 15. But this, as I said, is our estimate of what the selectors will agree on. So you look at some past performances, you look at the news filtering in through the grapevine, you take all of those things into consideration, you look at where Indian cricket is at the moment, you look at who the captain is, you look at who the coach is, you look at all factors and then try and arrive at a 15. So that's what we are trying to do. So let's start with Harshit. Go ahead. I'd like to start with your 15.
Again, just in no particular order have I listed these guys, but let me try and still name.
And I'll keep jumping in as and when I think.
As and when you think,
that I'm a bit surprised with your selection.
I'm going to go ahead and name my openers first. I'll have Abhishek Sharma. I think he's now become that commodity in T20 cricket. We talk about a Jassi Bhai who makes it to the team the moment that you're talking about him being available. If Abhishek is available in the game's shortest format, then he has to be, because he's operating at a strike rate of 180, 190 now, which is a rarity. So he is...
Despite a slight dip in IPL form, you're
not too worried. Okay. Because I don't think bulk, runs coming in bulk or is a thing that this team is hoping for anyway. So if you're batting at 35, 36 strike rate, if you're anywhere average, anywhere in the top 5, top 6, if you're 35, 36, but in excess of 150, 160, I take you. I think this is the message that I'm getting from the Indian selectors and the Indian team at the moment, because you're batting till number 8, and that will again be a thing that this team would want to do. So Abhishek makes it.
So are you going to be making your 15 and 11 sort of a format? 11 first? That's interesting. So at least we'll get a sneak peek. I'll also try and do that. We'll get a sneak peek into what is Harshit's ideal 11 as
11
well.
as
I'll
well.
also try and make my ideal 11, and of course we're making 15. But I think our first 11 are going to be players that we think are a first choice 11.
Exactly.
Okay, done. So you've got Abhishek there.
And I'm not going to change his opening partner. So Sanju Samson remains the opening partner and the wicket keeper for me.
Okay, interesting. Okay, let's go.
I then-
Keep showing it to the viewers as well, on and off, because it's like, while we have the benefit of looking at the screen, they should also know how the team is shaping up. Okay.
I'm then going to go with Tilak Verma at number 3. Fantastic returns for him in T20 internationals. Those numbers are exceedingly good. In fact, bowled in the West Indies series as well, I remember. So Tilak Verma has to be there. I hope he's not the one to unfortunately miss out, because there are those who haven't gone ahead and included him. I will then have the Indian captain at number 4. What we've seen is 3 and 4 have been interchangeable between Tilak and Sky. That's what we saw in those 5 matches in the England series. And I won't be too surprised. In fact, while I name the 11 that I have in mind, I think 3, 4, 5 are going to be flexible positions in this team. I will then have a Shivam Dube over there. I think the mass murderer of spin bowlers that he is, you will really need his firepower. Also becomes that left-handed batter. After your top 3 are done with, you will have another left-hander to come in the middle order as
But you know,
well.
for Dube, what I was seeing is his IPL numbers now have started to dip.
They have.
And it's not so much about total runs, and for players who have the tough job of really accelerating towards the death, sometimes total numbers, and this is what you did with Abhishek as well, not looked at total numbers but the impact. So you looked at the strike rate. In Dube's case, his strike rate also fell down drastically.
But it sort
He was
of
in the
coincided with
120,
this team not
30.
doing as well.
I agree, but I'm just saying, as an individual performer, that allowed him more space. Had he had been operating, okay, fine, his strike rate may be reduced because he needed to take responsibility, but then the total number of runs should go up. But in his case, the numbers had dropped. His impact in terms of strike rate also dropped a bit. So I was a bit...
Just because, so what I've done over here is I've tried to maintain some sort of consistency as well. I don't always want to include, because that way, there's a Jitesh who doesn't make it to my shortlist, the 11 shortlist. But going by how the IPL went by for him, there is a definite case to be having a Jitesh
So
Sharma
why don't
as
you
well.
have Jitesh? And let's finish that bit now. Why is it that you don't
Because
have
my wicketkeeper anyway is sorted with Sanju Samson, which is why he doesn't make it in the
him? But
11.
you will have to have a second wicketkeeper.
I will have a second wicketkeeper, and that's where I have a slash in front of Jitesh as well, because because I'm also trying to be mindful of the fact that this team likes players who have all-round ability, and by all-round I mean all format ability. Dhruv Jurel, the good thing with him is he's travelled with the team a little more than Jitesh has, albeit in another format.
No, but this all format ability you have not seen with your openers. You've gone with openers who are not all format players. So when you are going format specific, then why are you not going in T20 cricket like
Because
that?
see, Sanju does the job for me. Clear as day for me.
No, I'm just talking about no
for
doubt
backup.
about that.
Yeah. See, again, that's the only slash, in fact, in my list that I have, that's the only slash that exists. So while we make the 11, we go forward, perhaps there'll be a little bit of a hunch that I take as we move forward. That's the only slash that's there in my team, not otherwise. Because Jitesh has got very good numbers to back, for there to be a case for him as well.
Okay.
So Dube, just for continuity's sake, I have Dube in my side. Then at 6, I've got Hardik Pandya.
Yeah.
Moving forward, there is Aksar, as was the case in the previous T20 assignments as well. Aksar is there, and so is Washington Sundar. So that gives me batting till number 8, and he becomes then my last recognized batter in some way, Washington Sundar.
Okay.
I've then gone ahead with 2 out-and-out spinners in Kuldeep Yadav, Varun Chakravarti. I was looking at how you played in the previous England series, and in the England series,
So you've got 4 spinners in your team.
because this is exactly what the Indian team did in the England series. There was only one match, I think it was the 5th match, in which a Harshit Rana, a Shami and a Hardik Pandya played. Otherwise, what you did throughout that series, and this is the template you followed in the Champions Trophy as well, that you had one out and out seam bowler plus a Hardik Pandya. Remember, Hardik Pandya was sharing the new ball as well.
Yeah.
So I am thinking, because it's again the same venue, you played your entire Champions Trophy in the UAE, this is again the same thing happening all over again. I think and because the England series was also for us to witness a few months back, I think you're sticking to this. You've got 3/4 spin bowling options over there, and you've got two bowlers in, one out and out seamer and then a Hardik Pandya. It's a formula that worked for you in the England series, and I think this is what they're going to be doing going forward as well, because 8 batters is something they will not compromise on, is what I picked up.
No,
from
that's
that
all right.
series.
But to have 4 spinners, huh, and just Hardik, of course, the all-rounder, only one fast.
Yes, in fact, I remember in that England series, there were times that an Abhishek was also trusted with the ball. The time that you went, the second last match of the series, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, that is when you had played a Harshit Rana, a Shami or an Arshdeep, one between them, and a Hardik Pandya. And at that time, you had Abhishek Sharma bowl an over or two as well. So they are flexible, the way I look at it, playing with just one out and out seamer.
That's very interesting. I mean, I think HARSHIT'S really, mentioned the reasons quite clearly as to why he's done that. On the face of it, it does look a bit left field in terms of what the team is looking like, but there are valid reasons that he's put forward.
And last is Jasprit Bumrah has made himself available, so he slots in automatically.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. You would have to get a fast bowler there, but the fact that you're playing 4 spinners in your team, might I add, just to let you know that amongst those 4 spinners, one Washington Sundar, who, if people remember, played this IPL purely as a batter. He was not used as a bowler at all by Gujarat Titans. So
And was batting as high as 4 at times.
yeah, he was batting 3, 4, 3 also, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, in the top order. And they were not utilizing his bowling ability so much. So that's very interesting, and a interesting thought process as well, why he's gone with 4 spinners in his 11 and only one out and out fast bowler in Jasprit Bumrah. Yes, who fill your backup slots then?
Should we get into your 11 first and then we
No,
name
we'll finish
the...
it now that we've gone. Just the backup slots we'll know.
Okay, so I've gone as far as backup slots
So
are
then I
concerned.
had to get to see the whole balance, like who you've gone with, who you've left out.
So Jaiswal is the first name over there because I'll need a backup opener, and my backup opener is him, not Shubman Gill. Again, going with continuity, going with what the whole model that you have of T20 cricket in your mind. Shubman Gill isn't fitting in right now, and I don't necessarily have the need to have Shubman Gill the way I look at things. Then there is
So the big headline from HARSHIT'S team is no Shubman Gill in his team.
I have then gone ahead and slotted Arshdeep Singh into the 15.
Okay. So that's your going to be only. Keep going. That's your. I'm guessing the only other fast bowler. So you have only 2 fast bowlers in your squad.
Because again, like I said, you didn't play a 50 over full tournament. With a third fast bowler, you were playing with only 2, and second was Hardik Pandya for you. For 20 overs, so you can easily do that, and you've got enough bowling options, and you played the entire England series like that.
You need to have a backup wicket keeper.
There is a backup wicket keeper, and I am going ahead with Jitesh and not Jurel. Jitesh, because I was looking at the strike rates for the IPL, and he made a case for himself last year as well, but for India that rope didn't last too long for him. But this time, massive increments in his strike rate, and I'd like to reward somebody for a good IPL performance. Unfortunate that Jurel misses out. And my last is going to be I'm done with Rinku, because again a specialist job. I believe it's a hard job. That England series didn't go his way, neither did IPL. But with IPL, as I said, the entire franchise did not come together well that season. There was too much happening in the franchise. Specialist role, I believe you've got to have a specialist in him around there. Batting isn't a problem. You're anyway batting till number 8. If there is a need, you can easily slot him in.
Okay, that's an interesting 15 that HARSHIT has picked. Do let us know in the comment section what you make of it. Of course, we'll be taking your questions a little later. I'm going to get down to my 15, and it's, as I said again, this is not necessarily my 15, but this is me trying to predict what the Indian team is going to be selecting tomorrow. So when the team comes out, I would like to compare this 15 with the 15 that is picked. and then compare notes. And I would like to get my strike rate, as this is the format of good strike rates. I would like to get my strike rate pretty high in that. Just like Harshit, I'll also try and put the 11 first and then what follows after that. So I start with my openers in Abhishek, which again I endorse what Harshit is saying. What impact he's had at the top of the order, he's a must. So you have to have him there. So for me, my number 1 is Abhishek. After that, my number 2 is Yashasvi Jaiswal. Now I think Yashasvi Jaiswal was naturally the first choice opener in T20 cricket. The only reason he went out is because you were trying to get him into the ODI mold of things. So otherwise, and he made his T20 debut much before even playing ODI cricket ever for India. So in that sense, this is his go-to format. And just like Abhishek, I think Jaiswal also, the impact that he has in this format and the way he bats in this format, he was always ahead of the curve. So I'm going to keep that. He's been showing form in other formats, which is good. Yeah. So you're taking an informed batter. So Jaiswal and Abhishek. I know 2 left-handers, but that's fine. If you can have 2 right-hand openers in Rohit and Gill. For some time they used to be, or Virat and Rohit opened for some time. Why can't you have 2 left-handers in Abhishek and Jaiswal? So my most impactful players are them. I think they should be there. I will have to have a wicket keeper. Yeah. In which case there is going to be Sanju Samson at number 3.
So you're batting him out of position?
Sorry?
You're batting him out of position in that case?
Yeah, but if you see, Sanju has batted 3 and 4 also in the IPL.
Yes, he has.
So in that sense, I'll take him. Then there'll be Surya Kumar Yadav, the captain. Again, you can change all of that, but Surya Kumar Yadav can be in that team as well. Then there is Shreyas Iyer.
Oh. He makes it to the 11.
Shreyas Iyer. He should. I mean, his strike rate was incredible in this in IPL. He was anyway part of your T20 setup before he was sent for the exile as punishment. Now that he's shown his form and he's part of your other white ball setup as well, he needs to come into the 11. I will have Shreyas Iyer in my team there. Then comes Washington Sundar.
Okay.
For me, I mean, these are again interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Washington Sundar will be next. Soon after Washington Sundar, I am going to be going with Hardik Pandya,
ex-captain.
Yes, and Hardik Pandya at 7. At 8, I will have Akshar Patel.
Okay.
At 9, I will have. It's a tough one. You could go with anyone. I've gone with Kuldeep. Okay. I could only pick one between Kuldeep
and Varun.
And Varun. But I've taken both in my squad. That will just give you an idea of the team that I'm going with. After Varun, unlike you, I'm going with 2 fast bowlers.
Okay.
And those 2 fast bowlers are Arshdeep
and Jasprit.
Yes. And Jasprit Bumrah. Okay, so this is, I think,
so that's
11 that they might go with. Now, unfortunately, I had to leave a Tilak Verma out of the 11. I completely agree with you that he was outstanding, but I'm not going to leave him out of my squad. So for that, I will have a Tilak Verma at 12.
Okay. You need a backup opener as well.
Correct. My backup. The reason I'm not gone with a backup opener is because Sanju is also there, right? So I have multiple options.
Okay.
If I really need to change things around in my 11, by which, let's say, if Tilak comes in, I can push Sanju to open, and then Tilak slots in at 3 in case there is an issue.
Okay.
So I have not picked a backup opener because there's Sanju, Jaiswal, and Yashasvi already in the team, and all of them are accustomed to opening. Here also you could look at maybe even pushing Sanju there and Jaiswal at 3. Who knows? but I doubt they'll do it. My
Yeah.
two ideal openers should be Abhishek and Jaiswal. Then I have gone with backup wicketkeeper in Dhruv Jurel.
Okay.
Dhruv Jurel is my backup wicketkeeper.
Would you like to mention why you've not gone?
So
with
again,
Jitesh?
I'm maintaining continuity. Jurel was my wicketkeeper in the last series as well. He's done well in the chances that he's gotten compared to Jitesh. I know Jitesh had a very good IPL, but Jitesh IPL international numbers aren't great. Jurel has also been part of the setup. His IPL wasn't bad. His team did not do that well, but he was striking at 150 plus. Also was one of their top scorers of that team. That's another thing, that they were always, missing the winning margin by 1 run, 2 run. So the team overall didn't have, but Jurel had a decent IPL with the bat and has been the incumbent as the second wicketkeeper. So I've gone with Jurel as 13, and then I have to pick up that backup spinner. And as I said, I was debating between Kuldeep and Varun. So Varun is here because I put Kuldeep there. But if Varun was to be in 9 and Kuldeep comes here also, I don't have too much of an issue. I think one between them will be a specialist spinner, because India will bat till 8 without doubt, and India will need at least 6 bowling options without doubt. That's one thing that we did see with the Indian team under Surya Kumar Yadav. The batting has to be there till 8, 9, whatever, and bowling, there should be multiple bowling options till 6. So this is something that the Indian team will definitely do, which is why to get that balance, I got it now. Now the 15 slot, I had a debate a lot in my head. I could have gone with a batter, or I could have gone with a fast bowler.
Backup fast bowler. If you were looking at,
so I was debating that, and I'll tell you the two names that I had in mind. I had Shubman Gill slash Prasidh Krishna that I was looking at as my third. Now remember, Prasidh is making a comeback. He was your purple cap winner this IPL. He's now done well in Test cricket. I know Harshit Rana is also there being looked at, but at the moment, looking at the form, IPL form as well as he's played in Test, I would be tempted to go with a Prasidh. So in that fight, but I was also thinking, should I get a Gill? But then I thought, batting, I've kind of had all sorts of options. If I am going to play 2 fast bowlers, then I will need a backup. Unless I go with your plan of only having 1 fast bowler, then I could still get a batter in there. But I think I'm going with, just 2 fast bowlers, proper fast bowler, and a Hardik in the team. So I will need a backup because injuries are part and parcel of the game. So I went with Prasidh. And the reason I omitted Gill here is also, I'll tell you why. Because he is your test captain. You can leave him out of the T20 squad. I think that is better. But you would take him in the squad and not have him in 11 is a bit of an issue. So it's better than to say that.
There is no way that he makes it to the 15 and not the 11 then.
You can do that. That's not.
But you won't do that.
So the one way you could have done that is, I thought about it, is that if let's say Gill comes in, then Gill goes as your opener instead of Jaiswal, and Jaiswal takes his position in that 14, 15. Like as a backup, but
then
which is also a possibility they might do.
A couple of people then, including a Tilak. The moment you do that, so you're playing Sanju out of position, because Sanju will then have to bat at number 3, and then you will also, as a result, be denying a position to a Tilak Verma as well.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a very, very tight sort of a situation at the moment, where how do you fit someone in and remove really anybody out? I would have liked to have fitted a lot of other people, like Rinku Singh also. I think for the kind of role that he performs, he needs a longer rope, and you can't judge him every series.
Why?
I agree.
I found it very difficult. In fact, I had to come up with a good enough reason to have a Rinku there and not a Shreyas Iyer. And if you ask me right now, where do I stand? I think if at all I have to find a way to have a Shreyas Iyer in the side, I'll probably have him bat at number 5. But knowing very well that for his franchise, he batted higher than 5. So that's going to be a thing. However, with Rinku, what I feel is, while you might be wanting to bat till number 8, let's not forget and be mistaken about T20 cricket. A finisher is always needed. And that 3 times out of 5, perhaps a Hardik will do the job or an Aksar will do the job. But not the other 2 times. And this is where it's exactly where you will need a striker of about 170, 180, that you will need somebody like a Rinku to be there. And as is the case with T20 cricket, I think you will be given that reminder at some point as well, that while Rinku Singh may not give you consistency, and that role will never give you consistency,
but see,
you need to back the player who has
I
the
agree.
ability to do that.
I thought about that, finishers slot. But see, now the way your batting is, all of these guys, like a Hardik can do that job, and even Akshar Patel can do that job. Now the way they are batting, he can. He's batted at that position and finished. I'm just saying, because you need now multi-dimensional players. You've started doing it in Test match cricket. I think it's happening in T20
I
as
still
well.
feel, I agree that they've all bought into that philosophy of playing aggressive cricket and being gung-ho.
Yeah.
Not give yourself more than 3-4 balls and you have to just go slam bang after that. However, I still feel times when you will be asked to chase 220, 230, 240, there could be those days as well. That is when you'll need that finisher to be there. And as we say for death bowling, finishing is also a proper job in the game.
It is, but the way this team bats now, I just think everyone bats. See, if you remember those series, they were notching up 200 plus scores with ease. Even though they used to be at certain occasions 40 for 3, 4, they would still, because they just continued batting in that form. And I guess this batting lineup, the way it is, it'll just keep attacking. So no matter who's batting where, I mean, and it's so flexible. The other thing is, I mean, someone can even push a Sky down the order and he'll still do the job.
Yeah. See, 6 to 8 is flexible, so that's 3 batting positions, and we know 3-4 is also flexible. As we saw in that England series, there were times that a Tilak batted after Surya. Surya was batting number 3.
Yeah. Agreed. That's what I'm saying. Quite a flex. I mean, see, at the end of the day, this Indian T20 setup under Surya Kumar Yadav, ever since he's taken over, they have really pushed the mark high for the rest of the world to follow. And when you make the team, you realize it's a problem of plenty. It's a good headache, as they call it. It's a luxury to have so many good T20
players. It took me time
players
as well, and I saw you scribbling as well. It is a proper job to go ahead, but it was actually heartwarming as well, because there were those names that we were all looking at and those in the fray, and that told you that the template is so sorted now. For once we have that clarity in T20 cricket, that you actually have so many good players to look at, and that's good. I think that's signs of a very good system in place and some very good talent pool that you have at the moment. Look at the names that we're missing out on over here. It gave me a lot of joy to see that there are some quality players beyond the 11 that I can look at as well, and plenty of them, not 1, 2, 3. Remember, we're not even talking about a Siraj at the moment. Once he is available, fully fit, and you want to
so Siraj is available, he's fit. There are of course reports suggesting that they might want to rest him, but quite frankly, and let's be honest, I'm not mincing my words, he has been out of your white ball setup. I know he's had a phenomenal test match series, but if you're looking at format specific players, I think at the moment, looking at the IPL and the performances there, I think Prasidh Krishna, Harshit Rana, Arshdeep,
perhaps
and
Avesh
Bumrah.
as well.
And Bumrah,
Avesh
no,
was
but
very
right
good
now
with his
these
Yorkers.
4 are your bowlers, fast bowlers that you'll have to look at. So I guess that serves a dual purpose of even giving Siraj some rest and then going with format specific bowlers for now. Okay, this is the 15 that we think India might pick. Maybe not necessarily our ideal 11, but what we think India might go in with. And it's a tough task. And even between Harshit and me, we've had at least 3-4 different players in and out, if you take a look at the 11 as well as the 15. So let's dive in and see what your thoughts are. Maybe helps us see a different sort of perspective. But as I can see, about 12 odd player are pretty similar. I think Dubey and Rinku are the only ones.
Dubey, Rinku, Shreyas again, and I
3.
think that the one flexibility I have is, I think I'm sort of fine, but he'll just be batting out of position, Shreyas Iyer. However, a very strong case for him to be there as well.
Yep. Okay. Let's start with the first one, and that is by Mr. Chennai Singles King. Okay.
Lovely name.
As
there.
Ashwin played his last IPL game, why will a franchise invest in him, knowing he will not just be playing but also collecting news for his channel? So I know he's talking about the larger issue that on his YouTube channel, Ashwin came and mentioned a few things.
Ash ki baat.
Yeah, which were firstly misreported as well. Not exactly. I don't think he said it how some people perceived it, but yeah, he did make a point, and it was, whether the legal framework they did it. But I get what he's trying to say is that it's still inside news. Would you want someone who's actively playing also coming out and mentioning, and knowing the Chennai team, which is so secretive about their functions, you barely get to know many things about the Chennai franchise. They like to keep it like that. I don't think that is something that will go down well with the Chennai management, and that's what at least I foresee. But I think Ashwin in that sense
as the reason of
no.
parting
Ashwin
no.
Obviously no. Ashwin anyway had that thought that he's probably surplus to their requirement, and they're looking beyond him. Next season they're trying to regroup, and he had an idea that they may not go with him. In fact, he requested that he be let go, and so he can trade with some other franchise. Has he played his last IPL season? I'm not sure. It's very tough to say. I'm sure there could be a franchise that would be interested in the skills that he brings to the table. But yeah, I think with Chennai, he also pretty much knew, even before the statement that you're talking about, he pretty much knew that his season with Chennai is done. And he may play for another franchise or not. But what do you make of this in general, that a player who's playing also is a commentator? I mean commentator is not always about live matches, commenting on the game.
It's a very thin line, if you ask me. Also, the insight that he offers at times, or maybe we are just not used to such transparency. We expect it to come through to us in some way, but maybe we're not used to this being told to us the way it's been done at the moment, wherein a player himself is talking about his own franchise. So either I think the issue lies with us to just be okay with this being a new form of communication, but if I'm the franchise and I look at it this way, I will probably not like it, because it's a visual medium at the end of the day, and in conversations, as often is the case, and we're in the business of making videos for our dear family members, as we need a second take at times, right, to be able to filter things out, and only the relevant thing goes, and you don't overspeak. This is the nature, I think, with these YouTube lives and these videos at times as well, and franchises may not necessarily always like it. So if you want to have him, I think you would want to have him still for the skill set, but there will have to be some tabs on what he can do on his social media and what not.
I am a believer of free-flowing information, not in sports, but in general, everywhere. As we started the program talking about press conferences, I always believe, if there is any issue, what is the harm, whether it's the Indian team, an IPL team, when some issue arises or something comes up, why not answer about it? Just speak about it. Just let it be transparent. Yes, he is injured. Yes, we didn't pick him. Yes, he is not part of our plans. Yes, whatever the case, come out and say it. I don't know why we are so secretive about everything. I'm pretty much okay with Ashwin doing what he is. As a consumer of news, which 99% of the people are, only 1% are part of the setup who may not like it. 99% people will enjoy getting information. It's free flowing, as long as it's not false information. That's fine. It's information, I like it. Let it continue. Let everyone be allowed to just speak. Why not?
Okay. Sharan also has shared his thoughts with us. He says that I personally want to change, I want no changes to this Indian team, because they have gelled well and worked so hard that they play fearless cricket. Induction of Jaiswal and Gill will only lead to confusion and will be unfair on some players. So he is talking about sticking with an Abhishek and Sanju Samson at the top. Sharan, is what I understand. Okay, we'll take the next one, and this one comes from Ashish Dhar. He says, omit Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, team balance will be disrupted otherwise. I see a lot of support there for the present status quo. I think nobody really wants to tinker with how things are. That's what I think the message was from Sharan, and Ashish also saying that you need to omit, because KL also wasn't in the scheme of things. Jaiswal for some reason didn't make it to your 11 as well, while the reason would have been that he was looked at in ODI cricket, but you were doing well with Abhishek and Sanju nonetheless.
But I'm just saying, if Jaiswal had been around, he would have been
equally effective.
He was your regular T20I opener, and he did nothing wrong to be out. Just that you wanted him to concentrate on a different format.
Yeah,
So he would never have been out anyway.
Agreed. Let's take the next one, and this one comes from Chili Paneer, who says that don't pick backup opener, pick a wicket keeper who can bat anywhere. Then you can squeeze in a bowler or an all rounder. Jitesh cannot open, so if Sanju's out, then you need two changes. Valid point.
Yeah, which is why I didn't.
Which is
pick
why,
a-
he's gone ahead with your philosophy.
Yeah,
I think.
I didn't.
Yeah. Ashish Dhar says that being informed doesn't mean success in other format. I think he's talking about Shubman Gill.
Yeah, yeah. But Shubman is in form in T20 as well.
T20, you look at his IPL numbers.
Yeah, yeah. And in fact, that's what I'm saying. Sometime there is, though he didn't make our squad, there is a misconception about Shubman being an anchor, which he's not. His last IPL season was pretty good at a good strike rate, those number of runs. 2 seasons back when he won the Orange Cap, his strike rate was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So he's not, just because he plays conventional doesn't mean he's a, I mean for KL if you say he's an anchor sort of a batter, I'd still agree. Because his, strike rate hovers around 130, which is now in today's context, maybe 5 years back it was fantastic. In today's context it does seem a bit low, but Shubman operates 150 plus. I think in that season he was 160 plus strike rate. That's phenomenal stuff.
Rakesh Bhushan says you don't fix something that's not broken. Why is Ajit Agarkar wants to look different from how things are at the moment? This team as a unit is performing well. This is mayhem and only shattering confidence and performance of the players. Don't go by IPL.
See, I mean, when you are going in test cricket based on IPL, and you've had picks in test cricket very recently based on IPL, Harshit Rana got picked. Sai Sudarshan in that sense didn't have great red ball numbers, but had outstanding IPL. You've kind of gone with IPL. Nitish Kumar Reddy had a fantastic IPL, and you looked into test matches. I'm saying from IPL to test match. When you can do that, how is it that you're not going to look at IPL when you're picking the same format T20 team? You'll definitely look at that. Like it or not, it will be looked at. And, and as I said, we are trying to pick a team which we think the selectors will pick.
Shubham Garg has an interesting one. He says that in the Champions Trophy matches, they started 2 hours earlier than usual time. So there was no dew factor. Now with normal T20 timings, dew will be a factor. So there's no way you will play 4 spinners.
That's a possibility. That is a possibility.
But when you look at how the Indian team lined itself up in the T20 World Cup as well, there was always that thing of going with more spinners.
Yeah, but there were day games.
There were day games.
That's why. That's why Rohit Sharma had thought of playing.
But also these wickets, as we've seen in previous IPLs, they slow down as well.
I agree, but if you look at IPL, no team's playing 4 spinners and only playing 2 fast bowlers. No team's doing that. In IPL, I think that's a good way of judging. Most teams will go in with 3 fast bowlers.
Yeah.
Minimum. Yeah. So that seemed to be the mantra in Indian flat conditions. And listen, you're also prepping up for an World Cup in India. So I think.
But in India, you played with only 2, and second was Hardik Pandya.
Yeah, I know.
And it's going to happen around the same time as you had the England series this
as
year.
you said, then if I need the spinning option, Abhishek is always there. Who knows? Or I mean, unless you do like, let's say the team that I made, remove one fast bowler and pack in another batter there. Tilak also comes into that 11.
He can also bowl a bit.
Yeah. So Akshar moves to 9, Hardik at 8, or Washi at 8, Hardik at 7, and Tilak at 6, or something like that. That'll be like an incredible. Don't be surprised if Indian team does that. Don't be surprised.
Let's take this one from Rohan Verma. He says, he says that the Prime Minister again reiterated on the 15th that no water and blood will flow together. But our team will play Pakistan on the 14th. Either the Prime Minister said something that he didn't mean, or BCCI is calling the shots. The statements and actions are different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the first bit, but the BCCI is in no position to call shots. They could not. You remember what happened in the World Cup as well, right? It was eventually Champions Trophy. It was the Indian government that refused permission for India to travel there. And I mean, all of you know that BCCI may be a separate body, and you've had various things about sports code and so. Those are things for governance. Eventually, what the Indian team does, all decisions are taken by the government, and it's not a new phenomena. It's always been the case. BCCI is not that powerful and independent to take these calls by themselves. So, I mean, the government, if has powers, let's say YouTube and Twitter, X, these are all private organizations. No? They don't come under government control. But when the government really wanted it, they did ensure that Pakistani YouTube channels were blocked or X handles were blocked. So, if the government says no playing, there is no way that the BCCI can go ahead. And everyone knows that. So, that at least I can answer with 100% certainty that of course the permission has come, only then they are playing. Yes, whether that's right or wrong, that's the other bit that is open for debate.
Pranit Datta says, in fact, he's shared his 15 with us. He's gone ahead with Samson, Jaiswal, Abhishek, Surya, Hardik. He's gone in with Shashank. Interesting. Then there's Aksar, Sundar, Arshdeep, Bumrah, Varun, Jitesh, Tilak, Harshit, Kuldeep. He says Yashasvi Jaiswal for me is undroppable in all and is an all format player now.
Yeah.
Okay. Daniel Matthew.
He's picked Shashank. I doubt they'll look at him. It's an interesting pick though.
Yeah. Daniel Matthew says that should Australia, New Zealand be added to Asia Cup like you see be the case in the AFC Cup
and FIBA
and in the FIBA.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting, Daniel.
There, yeah.
But why it happens is because it's a much larger sport with a lot of footprint. So they can't have, and also remember they do qualification is through the continent. Now you can't just have this luxury that Australia and New Zealand can just come from one continent, one team. So then they lack competition there, right? So to ensure that every continent there is enough competition there for them to come through, and so that teams are evenly distributed, they put Australia in and New Zealand in the Asian Confederation, and so just to maintain the balance there. But in cricket you don't need to do that.
Pranit says, Nikhil sir, how can you bat Shreyas Iyer in the top 4 how can you bat Shreyas top 4 batter at 5-6? That is largely a finisher's role. India has a finisher problem as Rinku has lost form. Jitesh, Shashank can do that job.
No, I agree, but I think you will see this Indian team, they rely on anyone to do that. And Hardik Pandya is there. I said Akshar Patel is also quite capable of doing that. Washington will have to be batting low and probably will have to adjust to that particular role. So I think they, and if you remember why I'm also saying, if you remember, I did interview Surya Kumar Yadav a short kind of right after the Champions Trophy. And I tried to get inside the mind of the Indian T20 captain, and this is what he mentioned, that they take pride in the fact that every player can bat anywhere. That's the flexibility that they have. And each of them has bought into the philosophy of being aggressive. That's the reason that they're doing so well. So I guess they'll keep it like that. Shubham says Shami was part of the last England T20 series, so why not mention of him? Why consistency talk for him? He is fit, right, to be considered for selection in T20. But Shubham, I'll just tell you, that was again the case because other bowlers you were keeping for the 50 over format. For me, as I said, Shami, I would have picked him for the England series. For me, Test cricket is his biggest strength. That is where he's going to be more lethal. His T20 numbers have continued to dip. Last season also, if you realize. And even the season where he did so well, won the purple cap 2 seasons ago, his economy was still a bit on the higher side. So, and I guess that bit of sting has gone away in those 2 years. In T20, I could still look at him in Test cricket. In T20, I think there are far better bowlers to look at the moment.
Agreed. We've taken this one from Shubham. No, I think it's...
No. I love mutton biryani.
Yeah, Shubham's we've taken. Yeah, I love mutton biryani. He's also shared his squad with us. He's gone ahead with Samson, Abhishek, Gill, Sky as the captain. Then there is Iyer, Pandya, Aksar, Washi, Kuldeep, Bumrah and Arshdeep. So that's his 11. Plus, he's gone ahead with Jaiswal as the backup opener, Varun Chakravarti, Jitesh, Prasid Tilak, he says unlucky, and Dubey and Rinku's form has really dipped. Okay. So he's no, but he's gone ahead with Dill. So it's not coinciding with any of our squads that way. Couple of other questions before we wrap this broadcast. Abhishek Ranjan has a question for you, Nikhil. He's saying that Pakistan announced 17-member Asia Cup squad. Is India also going to announce the 17-member squad or a 15-member squad?
See, that is what I said, that, Asia Cup isn't that hard and fast sort of a rule that, which is why it wasn't really a miss from Harbhajan's point. Maybe you have the luxury of picking multiple players. I remember the last Asia Cup also happened in UAE. Oh, sorry, the one last happened in Sri Lanka. The one before that happened in UAE. They had taken multiple players on that occasion. But you have to announce. I don't know whether you can do it.
About 22, which was played in the T20 format.
Yes. But ideally, it should be 15. I have a feeling it will be a 15-member squad. That is the right way to go about it. You can always announce some travelling reserves, as India always does. But it has to be a 15-member squad,
Ramachandran says, is Asia Cup a marquee event even now? Does the squad reflect the World Cup team combination, or consider it just a bilateral? Should we? Don't think any test regulars make it, considering West Indies test is 3 days later and weak teams.
No, so you can't consider it as a bilateral, to answer your first question. Why? Because there is Pakistan involved, so that in any way raises the stake very high. Secondly, and that I think is the most important bit, this is your sort of a dress rehearsal, the only other big tournament to play before the T20 World Cup. Yes, you'll play bilaterals, but a major tournament, and this is the best time for you to judge where you stand. So I don't think you can look at it that lightly. It is going to be a big tournament. We're going to focus on it. Winning it will matter. Bad performances will be looked at very closely. And I think your team combination for the World Cup is anyway in the mind of the selectors, but this is only going to firm up their plans. So it's almost a dress rehearsal of sorts.
Yeah, because after this, there's only bilaterals. So you don't otherwise get to tinker with the squad that much or whatever. Give yourself the best chance of seeing how is it that you feel that you sort of perform in a multi-team competition.
Yeah. They've said Prasid is in, why not Sai as per IPL performance? That's because Prasid also, by the way, showing you consistent form even in Test cricket. That is to tell you that sometimes you can say IPL is just a one-off. It's not one-off. Secondly, Prasid was earlier also part of your setup. He had an injury after which he went. So after the injury, he had to really show that he's back into the groove, which he showed you. So it's easier for him to make it. Plus, the competition there is much lesser right now, and I think he's further ahead in the pecking order than in batting. Batting, was struggling to put in a Gill also. How does a Sai Sudarshan come ahead of him at the moment? No chance. Okay, final comment. Piyush Nandre says, no white ball international cricket for 6 months. What's your view on that? IPL is just a domestic tournament. Yeah, it is. But I think that's how it is. I mean, there's so much cricket.
What do you do?
There is only one team that everyone wants to play with. That's the Indian team. I think they plan the calendar based on when the big tournament is coming, and then you play accordingly, I guess. Right. On that note, we'll take your leave. Thank you very much.
Just in case you missed
Tomorrow,
us.
12 o'clock is the meeting that will
Yeah.
start. When the team is going to come out, we don't know. There's no press conference as such. But beyond, you press the bell icon, we'll be live. So as soon as the team is out, we'll be live with our analysis. I'm guessing any time between 1 o'clock, after 1, you should be ready. Could be 1, 2, 3, whatever.
You'll find us here live from the Sports Today studio. In fact, before we do that, you'll find visuals of your chief selector and the others getting to the headquarters as well.
Yes.
Provided rain keeps at bay and we're able to get those visuals as well. But most likely we will. So be there with us. Tap that bell to all of those, addressing this to all of those who haven't yet done that. Shivam continues to feed us with the details of so many of you taking the time out every evening or later on as well, but not subscribing. So go ahead, do that, tap the bell, and tomorrow we'll be here with the analysis of the Indian squad. Let's see what philosophy are they going to now be adopting or be looking at. 2 fast bowlers, 3 batting, 8 or even 9, as Nikhil suggested, could be a thing with this team. You never know. So yeah, all of that will come your way tomorrow. Plenty of other stuff as well with regards to the Asia Cup already on our channel. Some other videos to follow as well. Until tomorrow afternoon, give us your leave and we'll take your leave and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Nandri, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair. Good night. Eat your vegetables. And as always, don't trouble your mother. Bye.